Welcome. We are doing Appendix C today. This comes right between 4.3 and 4.4. All right, for Appendix C, we're learning what's called Cramer's rule. It has to do with matrices. You have to find the determinant of a matrix. So that's what we're going to learn first. All right. This is a matrix. Sorry, I'm not highlighting it so you don't know what I'm talking about. This is a matrix. With straight lines, it means the determinant. The determinant is found by taking the diagonal, apologies, I wanted that to be highlighted, the diagonal and subtracting it from the other diagonal. So in this case, it would be negative 6 times 4, which is negative 24, minus negative 1 times 2, which is a negative 2. Well, as we know, when we subtract a negative, we're actually adding a positive. So this becomes negative 24 plus 2, or negative 22. You can see that fully worked out down here. Okay, now to find the following value of the following determinant, again, we're going to take 7 times negative 2, which is negative 14, and then subtract, and then subtract 6 times negative 1, which is a negative 6. Again, that means we add the positive. Negative 17 plus 6 is 8. Negative 8, sorry, because of the negative 14. All right, so that would be your determinant. Okay, to use Cramer's formula, your linear equation must be put in standard form, which means the two variables on one side and the constant on the other. Okay, we have to have it in that form. Here's an example of that form. Okay. Oh, sorry, I apologize. It's not quite that form. It's almost. What we would want to do before it's in that form is we'd have to switch these positions. So it would be 3x plus 5y equals 7. That would be your standard form, as you see down here. All right. Write the following equations in standard form. All we're doing is talking about standard form right now. Okay, so I would have to subtract the y on both sides to get that first equation in standard form. The second one, I'm going to add the 2x, and I still have the y on that side, and that's going to leave a negative 3. Those are standard form. Okay, moving on to page 2. All right. Now, Cramer took two equations in standard form All right. Yes, our book has the subscripts and all that, makes it confusing, so we redid it to A, B, and E, C, D, and F. So what we have is the X answer to the solution of this system is the determinant of the X variables, right? Here's my coefficients. The X coefficients get swapped out for the answer coefficients. See, the X become the answers. And then we have the Y values. Notice our denominator. Oh, sorry, I already used yellow or purple. Our denominator is the X values and the Y values. That is also true for finding our Y values. okay? Uses the x column and the y column. Now, the dy that you see up here, well, its determinant is I take the original x column, and now I'm going to swap out the y column for the answer column. All I do is I find the determinants of these two, put them over each other, and we're done. So really what we're going to do is find three determinants. For example, all right, what we're going to do is first we would find D. D is going to be our standard one. So it's 2, 3, 5, negative 1. 2, 3, 5, negative 1. It's that. All right, we'll find this determinant. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Minus 5 times 3 is 15. This is going to be a negative 17. Next, we find our x numerator. This is our x determinant. So on the x determinant, we use the y values, but we are going to swap out the x values for the answers. Here's my answers. So I'm going to have 18 and 11 right there. All right, so I have negative 18 minus 11 times 3 is 33. So that's going to be 43, 51, negative 51. All right, now I'm going to find the determinant of the y. All right, so now this time I'm going to keep the x values to 5 and swap in the answers for the y, 18, 11. This is going to equal 22 minus 5 times 18. That's 50 and 40 to 90. So this is going to equal 68. All right, so my answers then, x is negative 51 over negative 17, which is 3. Y is 68 over negative 17. Oops, negative 68 is 4. And that's my answer, 3 and 4. All right, so we're going to do this a couple of times here. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to find all three determinants first. D. All right, that's the unchanged one. So I have 15 minus 4. Okay, so that's 15 minus 4. 15 minus 4 is 11. All right, now we find d sub x. We keep the y column and we change the x column to answers, so 10, 3. Now we're going to do our determinant. I forgot to change it to highlighter. There we go. 10 times 5 is 50 minus, that's 50, minus 2 times, whoops, forgot to change my color, minus 2 times 3, which is 6. Now when I do the math, I have 50 minus 6 is equal to 44. All right, now I find y. I go back to the original x column, and I change my y column to the answer column. I have 9 minus 20, or negative 8. Whoops. I keep forgetting to change. There we go. 9 minus 20 is negative 8. No, it isn't. It's negative 11. Oh, goodness. All right, so x is 44 over 11, which is 4. And y is negative 11 over 11, or negative 1. So our answer would be 4, negative 1. All right, let's look at the next one. D is 3, negative 2, negative 3, negative 9. Negative 3 times negative 9 is negative 27. Minus negative 2 times negative 3 is a positive 6. This becomes negative 33. D sub x. Oh, foobar. I'm sorry. Okay, hang on. This is all wrong because we didn't get the second equation into standard form first. So this equation needs to be 9x minus 2y equals 5. Sorry. Equals 5. That looked like a not equal. Okay. So D is going to be 3 and 9 in a column, and then negative 3 and negative 2 in a column. I really apologize. That's negative 6 minus a negative 27. So that leaves me with 21. D sub x is going to be keeping the y column. Change it to my answers, which are 11 and 5. This is going to give me negative 22 minus negative 15. So that's minus a negative 15 becomes plus 15. And then that's negative 7. D sub y, I now keep the x column, 3, 9, and change out the answers into the y column, 11, 5. So now I have 15 minus, wow, 99. That's a big number. Okay, so that's going to be a negative. And 94, 84, negative 84. So x is negative 7 over 21, which gives me negative 1/3. Y is negative 84 over 21, which gives me a negative 4. 4. So my answer is negative 1/3, negative 4. There we go. All right, on to the next page. Oh, this is the answer to the ones that page? Yes. These are the answers to the ones we just did. Okay, so now we're going to do something else here. So what if your lines are coinciding, a dependent system with an infinite number of solutions? We already talked about that. That's the same line. Your answer for x and y will look like this, 0 over 0. Dividing by 0 always gives you infinity. No, it doesn't. You can't do it. But this means infinite solutions. No, yeah, infinite solutions. Okay, so let's look at this one. They're both in standard form. Check that first. Okay, so I have D is 6, negative 12, minus 3, 6. This gives us 36 minus 36. That gives us 0. So this is no solution, because I'm going to have to divide by 0, and I can't do that. So this would be no solution. Okay, because these are the same line. No, that should be infinite solutions. Interesting. All right, that is not an no solution. So let's keep going and just see what we get. dx would be 4, negative 8. The answer's in place of the x column, negative 3, 6. So now I have 24 minus 24. I have another 0. dy is going to be 6, negative 12 with 4, negative 8. 6 times 8 is 48. So I have a negative 48 minus a negative 4 times 8 is 48. So again, I have 0. So if you have all zeros, it's an infinite solution. All right. Parallel, in other words, no solution, is going to be a number divided by 0. So though D will be 0, your A and B will not be 0. So let's check this out. D is 2, negative 6, 3, negative 9. So I have negative 18 minus a negative 18. So I do have 0. X is going to be 5, 2, and negative 6, negative 9. Negative 45 minus a negative 12. Negative 33. Okay, that's actually a number, but it's going to be divided by 0, which you can't do, so it's a no solution. Okay, dy, I have my appropriate x values, but now I have the answer column for y. I have 4 minus 15, again, a negative 9, so it's a number. This pattern means no solution. All right, see, and that's my answers to it. Okay, and we're done.